What's going on, guys? Lawson Turner back with another episode of the Cover 2 podcast. Now, last video we went over Game 7. This video we're going to be going over Game 1 of what I think has potential to be the series of the playoffs, other than, the finals. We got Minnesota going into Denver and taking Game 1. Now, Denver has been damn near unbeatable at home over the past 2 years in the playoffs. This was their first home loss since Minnesota beat them in Game 4 last year in the first round, in which Denver would go on to win 4-1. I just thought Denver they came out flat. Like we see Minnesota go up 14-2 to start the game, and then 18-4, and just Anthony Edwards is ridiculous. He's ridiculous. As I watch him play, I run out of words. He's special. He can get to his spot. He turned himself into a respectable, good three-point shooter over the offseason. Because that was my biggest thing. Like, we know he's crazy athletic. We know there's not many people that can stop him from getting to where he wants to go. But it's if you treat him like a non-shooter, can he knock down those threes? And he has. And he's helped himself become, I'm not going to use the word unguardable, because only, very few people are just, oh, there's nothing you can do. There's unguardable. But there are stretches in games where, for Ant, there's just nothing you can do. I thought that the game plan for against Denver was awesome early on. They kept switching, who's constantly guarding Jamal, whether it be Ant or Jaden McDaniels early on, because and it looked like he was giving Murray fits. He had a scoreless first half in the first the first scoreless first half in his postseason career, and it amazed me because Denver's a damn good team. My only concern with Denver is they rely on their starting five too much. And then we see Reggie Jackson come off the bench and lead the Denver to a 21-3 run from the 5:12 mark to the 32-second mark. And we saw Denver for the first time in this whole playoffs, they were leading at half. And Anthony Edwards scored 25 of his 43 points in the first half. So he was their, their heartbeat in the first half. And then we saw to start the second half, we saw Karl Anthony Towns go on a good run by him, not by himself obviously, but we saw we saw Cat have that little 3 to 4 minute stretch in the second half to start it that kind of closed the gap and retook the lead for Minnesota. And then the thing that shocked me the most, when Denver had their fourth quarter lead and Naz Reid, who had been not non-existent through the first round, but the fact that he really came into game 1 in the fourth quarter and scored 10 straight for his team, that led to them regaining the lead, so that because the thing, when they signed him to an extension, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but I was like, okay, so you're paying 3 centers a lot of money. Cat, Rudy, and Naz. And Naz has proved that he's worth it. Sixth man of the year this year, and coming into game 1 in hostile territory and scoring 10 straight for your team, and being that heartbeat off the bench that Denver really struggled with in the fourth quarter. And I tip my cap to Minnesota, because I thought they would leave Rudy on Cat one-on-one and let Cat I said Rudy on Cat Rudy on Jokic and let Cat play like that free safety role, but they really they didn't double at all, if any, and they let Rudy play free safety, which that's what Rudy is fantastic at. Guarding shots, being around the rim, contesting layups, and things of that nature. Now let's dive into the six players, three per team, that I thought were the most impactful for their team. And well, not impactful, but had the best game of the bunch. Anthony Edwards, 43 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. He was everywhere. Like he wouldn't be denied this game. It's fantastic. Mike Conley, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists. Floor general, we love seeing, these floor general guards that are going to or orchestrate a lot of the action is a little. It's not much for Mike Conley, but with how much he has the ball in his hands, it's him and Ant. Whichever one is going to orchestrate, and Mike Conley did a good job when he was out there. I thought he would be a defensive liability because he's not a big guard. He's 6'1", maybe, if that. But he was out there. He did his thing on offense and was good enough defensively to pull this game out. Karl-Anthony Towns, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Like I said, he had that 3-4 minute stretch to start the second half that really closed the gap for Minnesota, and they ended up taking the lead right there. To transition to the Nuggets, Jokic does. 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals. Fantastic. And it was tough for him. It was tough. Nothing looked easy. Nothing looked easy. Not even when he was making and ones clutch late. Just nothing was easy. It would take him 4, 5, 6 dribbles to back Cat or Rudy down. And that's so much energy. And then you have to apply that on the defensive end as well. It's tough. I thought Michael Porter Jr. was another heartbeat that they had. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, and a block. 4 for 7 from 3. I thought it was he stayed that hot, consistent shooter that they need. That 6'10" stretch, essentially, who's crazy athletic. Jamal Murray had a good game in the second half. He was held to 0 points in the first half. Ended with 17 points and 4 assists. They're going to need Jamal to step up. And I know it's going to be tough. Because they, as in Minnesota, have they're the best defense in basketball. They have arguably the best wing slash perimeter defender in Jaden McDaniels in the league. And Jamal's going to need to. I'm not going to say he's going to do what Brunson did in the tail end of the Sixers, but he needs to. I think it's just going to be reps. Because we saw Jalen Brunson really start to handle the Sixers' length well in games, 4, 5, and 6. My bad. He really started to get to his spots, get in the lane, hit middies. That's what Jamal Murray can do for Denver, and hit a couple threes. Game 2 is important. It's crazy important. But before we get into that, let's look into some other little deep dive stats that I thought was the difference in the game. You look at the field goal percentages. When you when you look at the field goal percentages, Denver shot 47% from the floor, 42% from 3. Minnesota shot 52.4% from the floor and 41 from 3. It's the discrepancy in the shot making, not taking, making is going to be big the rest of the series. Minnesota won the rebounding battle 42-34. They won the offensive rebounding battle as well, 7-3. That led to 6 second chance points, and Denver only had 3 second chance points. Now, if you're not shooting as well from 3 as the other team, you got to get to the free throw line. And Denver won the free throw battle with 20 attempts, not assists. Made 16 of them. Good, not great. Minnesota only generated 12. They made 9 of them, so they both shot 75% from the free throw line. Now, turnovers I thought was a massive thing. Minnesota had two more turnovers than Denver. Denver had 12, Minnesota had 14. But those 14 Minnesota turnovers led to 26 points off those 14 turnovers. Which if that's how Denver's gonna have to steal possessions because their offensive possessions are gonna be tough. They're gonna have to get out on the break. They're gonna have to do other things, generate second chance opportunities for Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal. Aaron Gordon's gonna have to be that monster on the glass that he can be. We've seen it before. It's just different because this team is so big and long. That's it. It's flatly it. And Denver had 12 turnovers that led to 18 Minnesota Timberwolves points. I think Denver's going to even it up at 2 games tonight. That's just my feeling. I don't see the defending champs coming out and not saying that they're going to lay down, but I don't see them. I see them putting up more of a fight. Like, I would be shocked if Jamal Murray goes scoreless in the first half again. You know, and I think that this could be a role player game. Well, I could see, you know, Reggie coming in and leading the second unit again and be providing that spark that he is and can be off the bench. Well, with all that being said, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at the Cover 2 Pod 26. 2 on Twitter is TO. Link is also in the description. Link is also in the description to uh, check us out there. You can stay up to date with the show, interact with us on these playoff games as we live tweet it and talk with you guys on Twitter. Well, as always, for the Cover 2 podcast, I'm Lawson Turner, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.